Hey everyone, Chris Mack presents today with Transformers Issue 1 from the new Skybound Entertainment. I've been wanting to do this book for days, but I swear to God, it's like every interruption under the sun has hindered me, whether it be dogs barking, noise, phone calls, or even just my wrist deciding to get shaky and the books start going blah, blah, blah. So bear with me. We're just going to power through this MF and get her done. Now, before we even dive into this book, let's talk about who made it. This is Daniel Warren Johnson doing the writing and art, Nick Spicer doing the colors, Rus Wooton doing the lettering, and then, of course, all the mandatory modern-day gazillion covers, which I'm not even going to get into that. But there's the information for you. So this is basically a retelling and a kind of a soft, well, not really soft, but a reboot of the Energon Universe, basically tying in Transformers, G.I. Joe, all the Hasbro lines from what I'm understanding. So I like how we see the Ark coming to Earth, and then we're kind of getting these very gory displays and sort of this, what do you want to call it, a compare and contrast between the battles with the Decepticons and Sparkplug when he was in the war, which if you look at the uniforms, it's looking probably like Vietnam is the one that they're kind of going with since to more modernize it. But instead of seeing Spike and Sparkplug as people who are more chipper and uplifting, as I remember from the Hasbro, they're more grounded. And Sparkplug, as they call him, Sparky in this book, he's got some baggage. And poor Spike has to deal with the fallout of his father. Yeah, it's really heartbreaking, and it was really interesting to see how they're reintroduced. Now, he has a friend named Carly, and I don't know if this is supposed to be another take on, God, I can't remember her name from the cartoon, the blonde-headed girl. I don't know if this is supposed to be the same Carly or the same name. Feel free to school me down in the comments. But these two, they're basically getting ready to go off to college. She's way into art, as you can see, this totally rockin' heavy metal Lord of the Rings inspired band. And he's more into astronomy and whatnot. And they're both talking about how they're getting ready to go up to college. He's afraid to leave his dad because his dad's in a really dark place because of family issues, which I don't want to give away in this book. But they're both trying to cope. But before we can get further into it, they find the Ark that crashed. Now, the artwork overall, this one's not too bad. There's some books that have this indie style that I don't like. But for this one, seeing the Autobots broken like this, it adds to the thematic feeling that we're going to feel for this book. And I love how Jetfire is kind of the first one to wake up from the Ark and tries to, wake up his friend Starscream. So they're kind of going with the same theme from the original cartoons where him and Starscream worked together. But oh my God, Starscream really steals the book, and his madness is just unfounded. And the Decepticons are woken up first from Teletran 1, followed by Optimus, and we're just thrown into this full-on battle, which leads to a heartbreaking moment that kind of irks my Gurk. And the writer touched on that, so if you want to know what I'm talking about, read the book first and watch the interview about the Energonverse. I don't want to give it away here. But yeah, these two, they don't really know what's going on, but they see that Optimus is kind of the lesser of two evils, so they try to push his cannon blaster to him, and it's just, the scaling here is absolutely amazing, and I love the overuse of kind of like the manga lines here, where it's that action as they're trying to help him as he's getting attacked by, I don't think this is Thundercracker, I think this is Blitzwing. And he also has Starscream to deal with, Ravage, Soundwave. And it is just... And one thing... Anyway, sorry. I have a little bit of scatterbrain, but one thing that I do enjoy is as they're transforming, I love how we see the trailer just coming out of nowhere, and we see them in like their half-transformed mode. It kind of gives us this disjointed look, and you can just imagine that happening in your brain. Just makes for a great read, and sets up for what's about to become. And we get some nifty ways they do the splash pages. So you get the normal way, and then kind of a 90s style, we see him and Ratchet, the only two surviving Autobots at the moment, escaping the arc because all of the Decepticons are coming back online and they are outnumbered. So you're kind of left in this, what the hell's going to happen? And it's just, it really leads up for what's about to happen. And the other thing that I liked about this book is the fact that we have no idea where Megatron is. And we will be going over that in another book. But I love how Starscream, of course, proclaims himself the leader of the Decepticons. And Thundercracker at one point, right here, there it is, I had to find it for a second. Soundwave says, you have the most Energon reserves to go finish the assault on these remaining Autobots. Thus, the harvesting is up to you. It's what don't say his name. I'm the leader of the Decepticons now. I wish I could do his voice, but no one can ever beat Starscream / Cobra Commander. And yeah, my God, just, I mean, look at the way they give this maddening look to him. Like, he's like, are you the creatures that live in this place? So fragile, so pathetic. And it really leads you to want to read the next issue. There's enough here for everyone that's a fan of the Transformers, whether it be the modern stuff, which I'm not that big of a fan of, to the original cartoon. I'm kind of hoping that we may, in some way, shape, or form, see the Maximals. That'd be kind of cool, too. But at least what we get in this first issue sets up the tone of the Energon verse. And eventually I want to get around to reading Duke and stuff like that. I just read Cobra Commander, so like I said, we'll be going over that here in the near future. But for the time being, I wanted to start the book that kind of kicked it all off. And two, it's sort of a, what do you call that? A landmark, I guess. Because this is the first book I finally picked up at the local comic shop in my new location. So that was fun meeting the people over there and being able to grab this cool book with this neat variant, even though I was not happy with the price tag when I realized how much I paid for it. But c'est la vie. It's in my collection. I'm happy. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is like to get your action figures and comics. Get this issue. If you've enjoyed this review, I really appreciate it if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you mind hitting that fancy little Energon bell next to subscribe, that way as I continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel. Love hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.